And we start tonight with that breaking news on the vaccine front with young children. Senior medical correspondent Dr. John Torres is joining me now. Once again, a lot of parents excited about this news from the FDA. Of course, just another step in the right direction, waiting for the final stamp of approval from the CDC. What do you make of the latest decision today, Dr. John?
And Jasmine, you're right. This is something I think not just parents, but a lot of experts and doctors around the country have been waiting on this decision. And now that we have it today, we're that much closer to getting shots in arms for this age group. So Pfizer submitted their paperwork to the FDA VRBPAC committee, which is the advisory committee to the FDA. And they went ahead 3 days ago and they looked at all the paperwork. They looked at all the data. They really dug into it. And at the end of the day, they recommended that the FDA move ahead with an emergency use authorization. Now, the FDA doesn't always follow what the advisory group said, but in this case they did. And today, just now, released a statement saying they are authorizing for an emergency use authorization this Pfizer vaccine for kids 5 to 11 years old, because that's a group they particularly want to protect. And as Dr. Woodcock said, the commissioner for the FDA, she said that this is going to bring us closer to returning to a sense of normalcy. And that's what we need to do to get this pandemic under control, Yasmin.
Talk to me, Dr. John, about the efficacy here for that age group.
And, you know, it's impressive because what they found out for 5 to 11 years old is that the efficacy, the effectiveness was almost identical to that of the older children, particularly those 12 to 15 years. And now it's a smaller dose. It's 1/3 of the dose. So there was some question as how effective it would be. They put it that small to make sure the side effects weren't that bad. There weren't many side effects at all. And they found out that it was 90.7, almost 91% effective at preventing symptomatic COVID. In other words, preventing COVID-type symptoms. And they also found out, again, that it's very safe. Side effects are minor. Sore arm, swollen lymph nodes, a little bit of low-grade fever, maybe feeling a little fatigued for a day or two. But beyond that, really saw no side effects, Yasmin.
Let's talk about when kids are going to be able to see shots in arms, of course, after the CDC meeting that's happening next week. I actually just got an email today from my pediatrician talking about how they're going to be reaching out to the New York City supervisors, to the state as well, to make sure they can get shots in the pediatrician's offices to make sure kids can get these shots in arm. How quickly do you think something like that is going to happen?
And Yasmin, that's an important step to show that this is going to happen very quickly, as opposed to when the vaccines first came out, you know, back early part of this year. And there was a lot of confusion behind the, you know, are there going to be mass vaccination events? Where do we go from here? How do we do this? In this case, what they've done is the White House has already put the mechanisms in motion. People have gotten emails and phone calls like you have saying we are ready to go. But this is 2 steps in a 4-step process. So the FDA's made their decision. Now the CDC steps in with their advisory panel, and the CDC making the recommendations. Once that's done, which we think will be done in the middle of this coming week, more or less by the end of next week, this coming week, 5 to 11-year-olds can start getting shots in arms.
Dr. John Torres, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.